All right, I know that we've mentioned Inter Miami. Of course, in this conversation, we haven't forgotten about
Where are they then?
Inter Miami.
Where are they in the FIFA?
They got this little guy on the team. That's pretty good.
Sergio Busquets can tell you about their level, at least. This is what he said about the Club World Cup. It's clear that we are not at the level to compete at the Club World Cup, but we will try to compete in our group, go game by game, fight, and hopefully advance to the next round, though it will be difficult.
One thing is to compete. Yeah, one thing is to compete, other is to succeed.
Right.
They are not ready to succeed, of course. To compete against this Porto, I think they can.
You think this Inter Miami?
But this Porto, the worst Porto in the last 10
Inter
years.
Miami couldn't compete with LAFC in Los Angeles, and they couldn't compete with Vancouver. No, both legs. You think they're gonna compete with Porto?
These guys, I mean, these Busquets, Alba, Suarez, Messi. 3 years ago, if you want me to be honest, they were not ready to compete anymore in top level. In 3 years older, they can compete in the MLS. This is a different level. Still, if you're talking about Al Ahly, if you're talking about Porto, this Porto, I think they can compete.
Oh,
Palmeiras is a different league. They play out of the league. That's for sure.
yeah. I don't think this Sergio Busquets. I can't tell him to get lost. He's absolutely right. I've never heard such truth come out of his mouth. I think Sergio Busquets, and you can see from, we've done segments on Lionel Messi and his frustrations. You could see from when you hear comments made by Suarez, Jordi Alba, the body language. There's a real possibility. They understand if they don't get help, if they don't get better before this Club World Cup, there's a real possibility that all these stars, Messi and friends, these superstars that are used to winning, used to competing, like you say, have a real possibility of getting humiliated in front of the world. I am talking about the type of humiliation that makes you want to quit playing altogether. We're seeing the frustrations come out right now, and that's at an MLS level. That's at a CONCACAF level. Can you imagine what that's going to be like if they actually face a team of worth, a real team with real superstars?
Porto is not one of them.
I think Sergio Busquets understands. I think you're selling European football, and you're maybe overselling what Inter Miami is.
Porto is fourth in the Portuguese league.
They're in the Portuguese
they're
league.
not at Benfica level. They're not at Sporting Lisbon level. They're not even at Braga's level.
What is it? Is it Al Hilal?
Al Hilal. They're good.
Yeah, they got to worry about them. They got to worry about Palmeiras. And they're going to worry about Porto because they don't have merit right now. They don't have the legs right now. They don't have the confidence right now to literally say we can compete.
But they're not facing any of the top 20 teams.
Oh, imagine if they were. They're worried. Imagine if they were.
If they advance, they will.
And if you're Sergio Busquets, that's what you're thinking. I'm going to get embarrassed by this group. I'm going to get embarrassed by these teams. So I think he's sending a message, and it's a clear message. There's a secondary transfer window in the summer for these teams participating in this tournament. They're allowed 6 reinforcements. 4 of those reinforcements have to stay on your team for the next season. 2 of those can be loan players for this tournament. With the rules and regulations that Major League Soccer has, I don't know how they're going to do it. They need to do away, at least for Miami, for this tournament, with those rules and relegations. If not, they're going to be seriously embarrassed. Not just Miami. Major League Soccer is going to be embarrassed. Messi, in the eyes of the world, is going to be embarrassed.
So is this
it's
a
going
disclaimer?
To be a circus.
Is this a disclaimer?
It is. Of course it is.
It's a disclaimer, or is he sending a message?
That's both.
To the ownership?
I think he's sending a message to anybody that will
listen.
Because
it's weird to me that a player would say, listen, I've covered soccer. I've been a reporter. When somebody's actually honest, it's so refreshing. Personally, I think it's great that Busquets is saying this. I don't know how it feels in the locker room sense of it. It's kind of weird, right? But someone would be
kind
this
of
honest
weird
before.
and kind of too late.
Right.
What can you do now?
Exactly.
Well, maybe something gets done that window.
Or maybe it's hey, we're pissed and we're getting really tired of it.
I mean, I think they're beyond that. I think it was last show you mentioned you were surprised that they wouldn't know it would be like this. I honestly don't think they thought it would be like this. I don't think Sergio Busquets and Messi and Luis Suarez and Jordi Alba said there would be moments where, and a lot of that is on them because physically they're not as capable, because they've lost a step or two, because Father Time is undefeated, but they didn't think it would be like this. And when you're used to greatness, when you're used to competing at that level, it takes a lot of getting used to losing at a different level, and that frustration you can clearly see.
Listen, I think it's great for the big names that we're seeing at Inter Miami, that making the big bucks isn't enough for them. They still want to win at this level. They still want to take it very seriously. And to me, that's what they're doing. If Busquets is saying this, like you said, to really send a message to get players.
Don't let this get lost upon people who are listening. Messi's making the big bucks. Messi's getting the franchise. Messi's getting the percentage. He's getting the merchandising. Busquets,
they're still well taken care of.
They're not. They're not. They're not to what they're used to. They're taking massive pay cuts to live in Miami and to be with Messi because it's Messi and Friends under this structure.
They're not getting sponsor opportunities?
No, not for what these guys are used to. These guys are on another level.
But they're still living very comfortably.
And they were the first.
They could easily not care.
For the average person, they're living very comfortably.
They didn't
for their
come.
standard, they're taking a pay cut to be in the United States.
They didn't come against their will.
Their will. No, of course
So-
not.
so-
of course
so they
not.
cannot complain now.
Yeah, but when you know that you're taking less to be here, and then you say, "I didn't sign up for this," that's also an extra
You broke
added motivation.
all the records in the regular season last year. I mean, it's not that bad.
Within Major League Soccer.
I know.
And
but that's what
every game of importance
That's the league you play in.
every game of importance that they've been together, they've lost.
I know, but that's
And
the
those
league you
records
play
that they
in.
broke, it's like unbalanced schedule. The Supporters Shield, I don't take stock into it. They couldn't beat Atlanta United in a 3-game series.
Right.
They couldn't beat one Atlanta United. They couldn't beat one game.
They lost twice against Vancouver.
And they lost twice home and away against Vancouver.
Right. And essentially, like I said, what it boils down to is that they're making money still as Inter Miami players, right? But I think it's great that they're getting so pissed that they're not winning.
Yeah.
And not pissed about they're not making the same amount of money as Lionel Messi is. All right, we do want to remind you that ESPN FC is available daily on ESPN+.